So these are some slabs that I milled that I thought would be good for my live edge floating shelf project. And here I'm just cutting these slabs to length. This ash is some hard wood to cut through. So I've got the first two slabs cut to length. And now I'm contemplating where to cut the third slab. And here I'm cutting the straight edge that's going to go against the wall. And so I cut all three the same way.
Nice.
I tried using a draw knife at first, but it just took forever. This is some really hard bark. So I ended up using a well-worn flap disc on my grinder, which worked out perfectly. I had a lot of control that way. And yeah, I enjoyed doing it. And here I'm jointing one side to get a flat surface. And now I'm jointing the edge to get it flat. So I jointed all three slabs the same way. And now I'm planing all three shelves. So now we're just adding epoxy to the holes, any slits, any cracks, just filling them in. This will dry in 24 hours or so. And I use a heat gun to take off the excess. These are what I've been filling in. The other side was much worse, and it actually bled through at this point from the opposite side and stuck to my table, but no problem. It was easy to get off. And the live edge shelves are looking pretty decent. The consensus is this is ash wood. I posted online and I asked my friends what they thought this wood grain, what kind of tree this came from. The majority say ash. So that's what I think it is. And this is how I remove the excess epoxy. I use a heat gun, a small heat gun, and a dull chisel. And it works really good. You can see me peeling it back here. It just comes off very easily with the heat gun. It's kind of therapeutic when I do it. It's like ASMR in woodworking. So normally I'll have to fill with epoxy 2 or 3 times because you just keep finding holes to fill after the fact. $60. And so I start with 60 grit, and then I work my way up to 240 through the steps. So next I'm using my drill with these sanding pads. This is the medium one, and it goes, the discs go from very coarse to very, very fine. And I've got a smaller one and I've got a larger one. And they're great for getting into the small crevices and great for live edge sanding. So this is the state my floating shelves are at right now. I filled the knot holes with epoxy and I planed them. And this wood is very rough. I thought it would be nice and smooth at this point, but it's still very rough. So I'm going to have a lot of sanding to do. Here's another knot hole here that's been filled. A little slit in the middle of the knot here. And so now I'm in the process of getting ready to install the holes for the shelf hardware. that's going to be used to mount these things. And I bought the necessary tools. I'm going to be using this guy to drill the holes straight into the shelf. And I'm about to fasten it down now. I've got the dimensions measured out here where the holes are going to be in the center. And I'm going to be using the shaper origin to cut the slot for the depth of the bracket. So that's the state of affairs right now. That's where I'm at. That's more like it. So now I just want to measure the depth of the long drill bit. Just get a little idea here how deep to go. It's going to have to go a little bit deeper because I'm going to drill the slot with the shaper origin for the base. So just give it a little extra room here. All right. That's my depth there. Blow out the hole. I turned this way down in volume because the noise was just horrible. The squeaking was unbearable. Okay. I think I can just drill straight down without the jig now. Okay, let's try this solo here. There you go. Okay. And seems pretty good. I think it'll work. All right, we'll try the other one. And this is sped up 300 times so as not to bore you. Let's see how it fits. So I noticed that I put a square on these guys, and they're not perfectly square. I don't know if you could see that. They do fan out a little bit at the top, or all the way up, I guess. Let's see if I got these. Let's see. Yep, not too bad, if I say so myself. Let me get the camera over there. Not too bad. And I think we're pretty well centered here. Hopefully. Okay. And so my progress on the shelving, the live edge shelving that I'm making, I did drill the holes for the shelf brackets, the floating shelf brackets, and now I'm about to make the recessed cut for where the bracket goes into the shelf and is hidden from view. So I'm going to be using the Shaper Origin. I made this jig that I'm going to be cutting on. I'm using my antique Workmate workbench, whatever it's Workmate, yeah, Black & Decker old workbench. I've had this, I don't know, 40, 50 years, something like that, some ridiculous amount of time. But let's see how it works out. This is my domino board that I just slapped together, and I have to keep these down nicely so the Shaper Origin can read them. Like this, can't stick up like that. So we'll see how the cut goes. I'm going to be setting it up and I'll show you as I'm cutting. Okay, I did my scan, I did my placement of the grid, and I'm hoping it's not a perfect grid, but I'm hoping it works out. We'll see how it goes. I'm about to try it out to run the Shaper, and I don't know how it's going to go. Well, I did the cut, and it was pretty crude, but this is the cut, and it looks like I'm a little off center, but we're just going to have to adjust things here. Beautiful. And I forgot to shoot it, but I put my logo on the back side of the shelves with the Shaper Origin, one of my favorite tools. And so now I'm mixing a batch of good filler in a bag. This stuff is great. It's a grain filler. It enhances the grain. And when I put the finish on, which is going to be Total Boats Wood Honey, it's going to be beautiful. So I add a little bit more. Good filler in a bag. I've used this stuff for years. It's really incredible. So mix it up. And you can keep using it. So I mix it in a container like this and just cover it. And then I'll add to it and add warm water and mix a little bit more on every project. So you really don't waste any. It's good stuff. Okay, I'm starting with the bottom side first. I'm just gonna put it on with this brush, and then I'll kind of scrape it in with a credit card. And they suggest going against the grain, not with the grain, but against the grain, especially when you use the credit card.
So I sanded this to 180 grit, and after this good filler dries, I will sand it, I don't know, to 240, up to 240. I'll start with 180 again, or maybe just go to 240, I'm not really sure. We'll see.
Actually, I should scrape first before I continue, because I don't want this to really dry. Use an old credit card. Just work it into the grain. And so I did this to all the boards on all sides. Okay, so this will sit overnight to dry, and then tomorrow it gets sanded off. This was the Good Filler wood filler in a bag. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait to see the grain. And so the next day, after the good filler dries overnight, you do a light sanding to get the surface excess off and get down to the grain. And the little drill sander worked great on getting the excess off of the live edge areas. I'm going to start with the back side. I'm about to put my Total Boat Wood Honey on, and this is a new bottle, so I've got to take off the seal first. Well, it's halfway off anyway. Okay, I'm just going to squeeze some on here. Wow. That really soaks it in. This wood is very porous. Oops. Come on, baby. You can do it. You can look good for me. Get a little more up here. It's going to dry up here. Good. My logo's kind of blending in now. That's a good thing. I was worried it would stand out too much. Seems okay. But this wood is really soaking it up. Kind of surprised by that. I'm going to have to get in this area here. Well, it's looking better than just with water, which I tried earlier. Yeah, much better. Much better. Much better, Jackie Stew. Soak it up. Yikes. There you go, looking better. Thank you for that. I was concerned.